Saxons. I'm Izzy.
And I'm Sammy Kenny.
I hope everyone had a great weekend. Sammy, what do you think your volleyball program has been up to?
I'm not sure, but let's take a look.
Hi, Nina.
Hi.
So I'm just going to be asking a few questions about this year's volleyball season and how COVID's affected it.
I would say the biggest difference is probably how we're training. We're doing less competitive scrimmaging drills and more skills drills. And hopefully we can take those improvements of our individual skills and incorporate them into our gameplay when we come back together.
It's great that you guys are doing something that can improve the teamwork too.
It's actually surprisingly easy because we're only playing twice a week right now. So we have a lot of time to do our work, unlike the regular season where it would kind of be pushed off a little later.
Yeah, that's great.
One of my likes is that I get to see my teammates again. I haven't played with them in a while, and it's always fun to get on the court with them. And even if we are on the field, it's still nice to see them. Dislikes that we aren't playing competitively, because that's a big part of volleyball, is being competitive on the court. Although it was hard to motivate myself at times, I know that kind of doing workouts with teammates sometimes, whether it was on Zoom or like socially distanced running type of things, it definitely helped me because I wanted to stay in shape and make sure I was ready for it if it came.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So you guys are all practicing right now. You guys are conditioning, right?
Yeah, practicing.
Yeah. So how is that different from what you guys would usually do?
Well, normally we'd have a net and we'd be able to do, team things as well as individual drills. So normally in a normal practice, we'd warm up and then we would do individual stuff, and then we'd go into smaller groups, and then we'd go into team stuff, and work our way through and build up through the practice. And of course, everything you do for volleyball involves hitting the ball over the net, and we're not allowed to use a net. So we are just hitting the ball back and forth at each other. So
are you guys having tryouts for rising freshmen, or is it just...
Well, we will eventually.
Right. So are you guys just waiting for the seasons to start?
Yeah. This is not tryouts at all. This is just, I'll work on your conditioning a little bit for my varsity players that are more elite type of players. Again, it's always good to do basics. It's tough to keep your focus when you can't actually compete.
So is it all grades, or just, is it separated?
Yeah, we'll have anywhere from 30 to 50 kids out there a day.
As far as games go for the upcoming season, do you know anything about that, or?
Yes, we're starting the middle of February is when we can start. And then our first match is the first week of March. Is our first match again. Yeah, so the schedule's all set up for the spring. It's just, whether or not, although we have two different schedules because they can't decide if we're going to have a district tournament or not. So normally you have your regular season, and then you have a district tournament, and then a regional tournament, and a state tournament. So they're thinking of, because the time is shorter for what we get for our competition, they're thinking of maybe not having that district tournament. So it's just however you do in your district play would determine your position, and then you go on to the region tournament. I'm just going to be happy if we get to play.
Okay, thank you so much for meeting with me.
That's great that they can practice with everything going on. We are all rooting for the Saxon athletes to start up again.
Definitely. And let's check out what some of our Saxons are doing during their school breaks.
So what do you do in your free time?
My free time, as you know, with virtual school, we have a lot of time on the computer. So a lot of the homework's on the computer as well. And because of that, I like to just get away from the screens, de-stress a little bit, go shoot some hoops outside, walk my dog, spend time with my family, just anything to sort of unplug for a while.
All right, nice. What's the craziest thing you've done?
The craziest thing I've done.
During those breaks.
What happened? What's up?
During those breaks.
During the breaks, I'd probably, driven to my friend's house, narrowly avoiding, the time between class, and, cut it sort of close between class.
Good. Those are good answers. How do you feel about the breaks? You think they could be more breaks, more time?
I feel like, some of the breaks, I'm glad to have them, but I feel like, we don't need as many as we have. I feel like it'd be better to just, get the classes out of the way so that we have the rest of the day to do homework or, relax. Because, the 15-minute break between classes, I feel like if that was just 5, like how it is at normal school, because, we have 7 minutes between classes to get to class regularly. If it was, 5 or 7 minutes like how it normally is, I feel like we'd get through the school day quicker.
Like, why do we do homework if we're at home?
Exactly. I mean, we're already here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all I have. I'll have to edit it down later. Yeah. Thanks again. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, it's no problem. Anything to help.
Oh yeah. How you doing? Said you were good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just doing a whole bunch of homework, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That's all.
Yeah, no problem. See you, Omar.
So, Owen, what do you do during the breaks in between classes?
Honestly, I just look at my phone. There's, it's like 15 minutes. It's just not enough time to really do anything else.
Yeah. How do you like the breaks? Do you think they're good?
Yeah, it's nice to have some time in between classes to just relax. Because, an 80-minute class, it's a huge transition from middle school. It's just a lot of information.
Yeah, definitely. And do you think the breaks should be longer or shorter or just the same amount?
Personally, I'd love it if they were longer, but realistically speaking, they're good as they are, right? 15 minutes, it's enough to get a drink of water or go to the restroom or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Owen.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Don't forget that tomorrow's an early release day for Veterans Day.
Thank you to all of our current and retired military for their service.
Hello, Saxons. Veterans Day is upon us. We decided to catch up with the veterans at Langley. We've sat down with Mr. Reddy, a counselor and veteran who served in the past. He gave good and descriptive insight into the military world. You'll see right here in our interview.
All right. Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
What branch of did you enlist in the military and why?
I was in the United States Marine Corps.
For how long?
Officially, probably 5 years.
Where were you stationed?
I was originally stationed in North Carolina. I was at Parris Island in Camp Lejeune. And then my unit was in Baltimore, 4th Combat Engineer, Baltimore.
Okay. What place left the most impact on you?
That's a good question. Definitely Parris Island. The experience down there 25 years ago was very significant for me and had a major impact on my life, my adult life.
Could you share one of your most memorable experiences while serving?
It was a formation that we had in the winter, and it was snowing, and the commanding officer directed everybody to pick up one big pile of snow, and on his command to fire at will. And it was a snowball fight involving about 150 people, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Wow. Would you?
Some people caught some snowballs in the face, so it was it was something to see.
Yeah. Would you encourage young Americans to enlist?
Absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity. It provides number one, independence, and some people are looking for that, but it provides a lot of things, adventure, provides a lot of benefits. And there's obviously you're doing a service, for your country and for your family and, for everybody in the country. And that's what the military is about. It's serving, it's really serving all Americans. So absolutely. Now it's not for everybody, and there's things that you have to understand before you get involved. Because they, like anything, they try to sell it and glamorize, how things are, so that to make people want to do it. But I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of people, but it is not for everybody.
Has being in the military have anything to do with you becoming a counselor?
It definitely has influenced my perspective on life, and that's my perspective is what I bring, as a counselor every day. So absolutely.
Do you have any hobbies that you took up while serving?
I like following in the lead of one of our great principals, Jim Robertson. I like to do DIY or do-it-yourself stuff. So I like to work around the house and
shop.
Work with. Absolutely. So I have a shop in my house that I like to work out of.
Oh, okay. Did you go to boot camp?
I went to boot camp. Yeah, I went to boot camp in December of 1994. Graduated on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 1995. And it was a memorable St. Patrick's Day.
We thank Mr. Reddy for his service and sharing his recollections with us. Thank you.
That's all for today.
Stay safe and healthy.
Have a great day, Saxons.